Naeem Aslam is Chief Investment Officer at Zaye Capital Markets. Welcome to the programme. Well, it looks as if Asian markets opening in the red for a second day on tariffs. What's your assessment of where we are so far?
Sure, thanks for having me as always. I think there is still further room to the downside when it comes to these particular markets, whether we are talking about Asian markets, European markets or the US markets. And I'm saying this despite the fact that we have seen a very, very healthy correction. In fact, some of the indices or in these particular markets across these three regions, they have gone into very near enough to their bear market territory. But the fact is that this is a game that every single country leader is willing to play. It is a tit-for-tat game. And until and unless we see some sort of elasticity on either side, I don't see a bottom yet in the market. I think there is a further downside. Yes, weekends would be very important, any upcoming weekends, because this is when you're going to see a major headlines. So going into Monday, we could potentially see a huge gap to the upside or further gap to the downside, so, which only time will tell. But it is the elasticity of the relationship. Who's going to give up on in terms of the ego, and they're going to say, okay, here it is. Let's come to the table, talk sense, move forward.
How freaked are investors, do you think? How unnerved are they?
Well, I think from investment perspective, you are looking two different set of investors. Number one, investors who are looking at the markets and thinking about the valuations being so rich across the globe, not only in Asia or in Europe or in the United States. And I'm not specifically discussing any particular sector, especially the Mag 7 or the tech sector, the AI boom, which was a very, very rich in terms of valuation. So those pool of investors are looking at it and then rubbing their hands and thinking, this is a great opportunity, because now markets have retraced more than 20% in terms of the Nasdaq, in terms of the Russell. We are nearly over 30%, and over in China and in Hong Kong, it is even more worse. But then smart money, the other pool of investors sitting on the other side, thinking, okay, if these tariffs are going to become a reality around those particular key dates, which are going to be kicking in next week, what does that mean in terms of a production? If you are pushing companies to come to the United States, it is not going to happen overnight. Who's going to take that pain? At what cost? Are consumers ready? And what does that mean for the earnings season? They are looking at these particular questions, and the answer that they are looking at for these particular questions are not very optimistic.
Naeem Aslam, thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you.